Archangel Michael says, "Tonight the veil is thin, and what was once covered in shadows is slowly being revealed." A secret long kept close to the heart of someone you thought you could trust is pressing to come into the light. The suspense around their silence is not an accident. It was designed, carefully, so you would not see the truth until the moment was unavoidable. They walk around you pretending nothing has changed, but the weight of what they carry grows heavier with every passing day. This person smiles at you, speaks with you, even laughs in front of you, yet beneath the surface, something far deeper is concealed. The hidden truth is tied directly to your destiny, and whether you want it or not, it is about to reach you. The universe has been whispering signs to you through your dreams, your sudden feelings, and those moments of quiet unease. It is not paranoia, it is a divine alert, a warning from above that your soul must be ready to handle the revelation. What they fear is not your reaction alone but the shift it will bring in both of your lives. Archangel Michael says, "You are not meant to remain in the dark. The time has come for you to hear, to see, and to know what has been deliberately kept from you." They could not hide it forever, and now their own spirit trembles as the truth prepares to break free. Type Amen to get blessing 333. The reason they held back is layered with guilt, fear, and a twisted sense of protection. They told themselves it was better for you not to know, but in reality, it was better for them. By keeping this truth buried, they thought they could delay the storm, yet storms cannot be stopped, only postponed. Every interaction you've had with them recently has been laced with subtle tension. You may have felt it, the way their eyes dart away too quickly, the way their voice shakes when certain topics come up, the way they avoid specifics. This is not coincidence. It is their attempt to cover tracks they know will soon be exposed. What they fear most is losing their place in your life. They have already imagined the moment your expression changes, the shift in your energy when you finally know. Still, they cannot control the ticking clock. Divine timing is unstoppable, and the hourglass has already emptied. Your angels have been moving pieces behind the scenes to prepare you. What was hidden to protect them is now being revealed to protect you. Their secret is not just about the past, it will affect your present and your future if you don't face it head-on. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Their silence was not an accident but a shield. They thought that by burying the truth deep, you would never uncover it. But every lie carries a vibration, and every unspoken word sends ripples that eventually reach the surface. This person's secret is heavier than they can admit. It eats away at their thoughts during sleepless nights, forcing them to rehearse the day they might have to tell you. They are haunted by the idea that if you find out from someone else, it will destroy the fragile trust they still hope to preserve. There are moments you've sensed it without words. The tension in the air, the sudden change of subject, the look in their eyes that doesn't match the words on their lips. Deep inside, your soul has known something wasn't right. Archangel Michael says, "You were not given this intuition for nothing." The veil is thinning because it is time for truth to collide with your destiny. You are stronger than they believe, and what they fear will not break you, it will free you. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They have been carrying this secret like a small, dangerous ember tucked under their chest, warming them while it threatened to burn everything in its path. Each day they convinced themselves they were doing the right thing by holding it in, by pretending silence would soften the shock that truth would deliver. That quiet calculus has become a prison that tightens with every breath. You have noticed changes that words did not explain, moments when silence felt louder than any argument could be, and those silences were always heavy with meaning. The small escapes of honesty they offered were like bandages over a wound that needed to be opened, not hidden, so healing could begin. Their gestures toward normalcy have been performances rehearsed in private for an audience of one. Beneath the polite conversations and the habitual routines, there is a map of decisions they made that now points directly at you and your future. They chose paths that seemed easier for them, believing the consequences would never reach your doorstep. Fate has a way of rerouting what people think they can contain, and it has begun to redirect toward daylight. When the truth breaks, it will not be a single moment but a cascade of small reckonings that change the shape of days you thought were ordinary. Patterns that once felt random will align into a design that reveals motive and method and the cost of the secrecy. You will see how many times your life was nudged by choices you did not know were being made on your behalf. They kept their fear at the center, convincing themselves secrecy was mercy, when in reality it was a quiet theft of choice from you. Every withheld detail took from your ability to respond, to protect, and to decide how you wanted to move forward once you knew. The compassion they claimed to have for you was tangled with self-preservation. Imagine the moment they stand before you with the confession finally spilling out, not because they were brave but because the truth grew loud enough to drown their excuses. Their voice will tremble not only with shame but with the relief of a burden they can no longer carry alone. In that trembling there will be a raw human plea to be forgiven, to be kept, or simply to be understood. You are not powerless in this turning hour. The knowing that comes to you is a tool, sharp and honest, that will cut away what no longer serves you. Use it not as a weapon but as illumination, seeing clearly what must be mended and what must be left behind. Your strength will be measured not by how much you endure but by how wisely you act once you are clear. Trust will be the currency counted in the aftermath, and it will be spent carefully. There will be accounts opened and balances settled in whispered conversations and in the steady work of rebuilding or in the decisive act of letting go. Your life will reprice itself around the new facts, and your heart will find a new rhythm that fits the truth. The people around you who love you will shift their roles, showing up in ways you did not expect, proving that support finds you when the ground beneath your feet tilts. Allies will appear not always in grand gestures but in small, steady acts, a message, an offered shoulder, a silence held for you to breathe. Those who have been waiting for your word will step closer when you show them the map. There are practical threads to this revelation that you will need to pull gently so things do not unravel in chaos. Records, receipts, conversations, small artifacts of the hidden life, will become evidence of intention and chronology. Organize these pieces not out of spite but out of clarity, so you can make decisions from a place of reality rather than rumor. Emotional labor will be heavy in the days after truth is named, and you must allow yourself rest without guilt. Grief is not only for loss of what was, but for the loss of what could have been if honesty had lived in the open. Permit the mourning. It is an honest currency for the change you did not ask for. Do not rush to absolution or to condemnation. Both are premature without the full stretch of facts. Let the light show what it reveals and then measure response with fairness and a steady heart. Your reactions will set the tone for your future, and measured responses hold more power than combustible anger. There will be moments when your instinct pulls toward confrontation that scorches rather than heals, and in those moments pause to breathe and name your intention. Speak to alter reality, not to inflame it, and remember that words hurled in heat can become wounds that heal slowly or never. Choose language that builds paths forward if that is possible, and that closes doors firmly when necessary. The person who hid this secret likely rehearsed many versions of truth in their head, wondering which would cause the least damage. They played through scenarios where you would understand, where you would forgive, where you might even thank them for sparing you pain. None of those rehearsals changed the fact that your right to know was taken without consent, and that theft of agency cannot be ignored. Your inner circle will be tested as the secret ripples outward, and alliances will rearrange themselves with surprising speed. Some who seemed close will distance themselves, unable to reconcile what they learn with who they thought they knew. Others will reveal loyalty that was quiet but steadfast, coming forward to help you carry the aftermath. You will be forced to rewrite the narrative you have told yourself about their character, and that rewriting is heavy work that requires honesty from you as well. It is okay to mourn the person you believe them to be. That grief does not make you weak but beautifully human. The process of truth will refine not only your view of them but your view of what you require in relationships moving forward. Practical steps will anchor you when emotions surge. Write down what you discover, date the entries, and keep copies safe in more than one place. Sharing with a trusted friend or advisor who can hold perspective for you will prevent small details from becoming instruments of torment. A clear record helps you make choices based on facts rather than fragments. Forgiveness may come, or it may not, and both outcomes are valid depending on the scale of what was hidden. Forgiveness is never obligatory and never a shortcut to pretending nothing happened. It is a personal act of release that you may grant when you are ready and only if it serves your peace. Boundaries will be your compass, and they will need to be redrawn with precision and kindness to yourself. Decide what you will accept and what will end, and hold those lines even if the other person pleads. Consistency in boundaries teaches others how to treat you and protects your heart from repeated harm. There is also the reality that secrets sometimes hide motives of fear rather than malice, and acknowledging that will not erase harm but will help you see the whole picture. Fear can make people perform harmful choices in the name of protection, and recognizing that nuance helps you decide whether education, distance, or both are the right responses. Compassion and clarity can coexist without contradiction. Your life will not be defined solely by this revelation, it will be defined by how you integrate it into a larger narrative of growth and self-respect. Use this as a turning point to demand honesty and to reward transparency in the future. The lesson is yours to keep, that truth is the foundation of everything that follows. There will be practical consequences to navigate, and you should plan them before acting from raw emotion. If money, property, or legal matters are intertwined with the secret, consult professionals who can translate emotion into strategy. A clear plan protects you from reactive moves that might complicate an already fraught situation. While you plan, do not forget the tenderness you owe yourself. The shock will ring in your body like a bell for weeks, so nourish your heart with steady food and sleep. Small rituals of care will stabilize your nervous system and help you think more clearly when decisions are required. Rest is strategy, not escape. As the people in your orbit adjust, be ready for unexpected honesty from others who also carried pieces of the truth in silence. Their confessions may offer context that reframes parts of the picture and helps you piece together the full story. Gather these pieces as specimens of reality, not weapons in a new war. You will find strength in repetition. Consistent small acts to reclaim your life will outlast dramatic but short-lived campaigns of reaction. Daily routines, guarded moments of joy, and anchored rituals create a backbone for healing that no sudden upheaval can easily bend. Rebuild slowly and intentionally. Do not let fear of future secrets rob you of present joy. Make agreements with those close to you about transparency going forward and hold to them. Commit to regular check-ins, clear communication, and the practice of naming small things before they grow into lies. A culture of openness is created by consistent tiny acts of truth. If reconciliation is possible, it will be a long road paved with accountability, restitution, and repeated demonstrations that things are different. Words alone will not suffice, actions must follow in patient, visible ways. If these acts do not appear, do not be afraid to protect yourself by stepping away. There will be those who advise vengeance, offering a quick balm for your wounded pride, but vindication is seldom as sweet as it is promised to be. True power lies in restoring your life and your peace rather than destroying another. Let justice, where appropriate, be measured and not vindictive. Your children, if you have them, will watch how you respond and learn lessons about truth, courage, and dignity from your choices. Model for them a way to carry pain that fosters resilience rather than bitterness. The legacy of your reaction will be taught in small moments more than in grand speeches. Keep your inner truth close even as you broadcast the facts that must be known. Your story is not up for auction, and your dignity remains yours to protect. Speak the parts that need to be heard, and do not overshare for the sake of proving yourself right. Vulnerability is noble when intentional, not performative. There will be a strange clarity that follows the storm, where things that once seemed foggy resolve into a map of where to go next. In that clarity you will find surprising gratitude for the growth that such a painful lesson precipitates. Pain converts into wisdom when you allow it to teach rather than to define you. Surround yourself with people who can hold both the hurt and the hope, and let them help you remember the person you are beneath the shock. Good friends act as mirrors that reflect your strength back to you when your own vision is clouded. Allow their steady presence to remind you who you truly are. Do not be rushed into false closure by others eager to move past the drama. Closure is earned and takes the time it needs to be honest. Those who insist on speed are often trying to protect themselves rather than you. Honor the time your healing requires, and stay true to your process. If this secret involved betrayal in professional spaces, document interactions carefully and seek counsel to protect your reputation and opportunities. A clear record and wise guidance will prevent small lies from compounding into career damage. Protecting your livelihood is a sacred part of protecting your future. You will discover reserves of courage you did not know you had, and they will arrive in quiet moments when you make choices for the sake of your peace. Courage is not always dramatic, it shows up as a decision to keep living well despite the pain. Notice it, name it, and thank it. In time you will be able to tell this story without the raw tremor in your voice, and that day will mark a significant healing milestone. Each telling will peel away a layer of pain and replace it with a teaching you can carry forward. Speak it when you are ready, and let the telling be a step in reclaiming your narrative. There will be parts of your life that require forgiveness to move freely, and forgiveness may look different from reconciliation. You can forgive without re-entering a relationship that is unsafe or dishonest. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself to unburden your spirit, not a permission slip for harm to continue. Celebrate the small victories along the way, the mornings when pain feels less sharp, the conversations that land in honesty, the nights when sleep comes more easily. These are the stepping stones back to fullness, and they deserve notice. Gratitude for small mercies is a quiet ally in recovery. When you stand at the edge of what was and look forward to what can be, remember that the future is not only a place of possibility but also a field you get to sow with intention. Plant seeds of honesty, tend them with care, and refuse to water the weeds of secrecy again. Your future will be nourished by choices rooted in truth. As you move through this season, keep a ledger of lessons learned and promises made to yourself, for they will become the compass when new relationships form. Let that list include the values you will never again negotiate and the tenderness you will extend to yourself in hard moments. Those promises are the architecture of your renewed life. Protect your peace by occasionally stepping back from the noise of opinions and allowing your own voice to be the final arbiter. External voices may pressure you toward drama or performance, but your inner wisdom knows the pace that healing needs. Trust that wisdom above the chorus. If you choose to stay close to the person who hid the secret, insist on structures that guarantee transparency and accountability going forward. Agreements without enforcement are empty, and actions without documentation fade quickly. Make the parameters clear, measurable, and non-negotiable. If you choose distance, do not feel ashamed. Removing yourself from repeated harm is an act of profound self-respect. Boundaries preserved are lives saved from slow erosion. Walking away can be an act of courage as noble as staying when the conditions are right. In the quiet seasons after the revelation, create new rituals of celebration for your resilience, small markers that honor your survival and your clarity. Light a candle, plant a tree, mark the date in a journal with words that name your triumph. These rituals are testimonies to the strength you have summoned. Know that time will not erase the memory, but it will soften the edges and allow you to incorporate the lesson into a broader narrative of growth. The scar will remain as a reminder, not as a condemnation. Let it teach rather than define. And when the day comes that you can look back without immediate pain, you will find a deep gratitude for the person you have become because of how you survived. That gratitude is not for what happened but for how you responded, for the dignity you reclaimed, and for the compassion you learned to give yourself. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Hold fast to the truth you now carry, and move forward with a resolve that honors both your heart and your mind. The future awaits with doors that judge honesty and welcome courage, and you are ready to walk through them with a steady step. Keep your eyes on the horizon and your feet on the path of integrity. In time, your story will be a light for others who fear the fallout of honesty, showing them that truth, though costly, buys a freedom deception never could. Your example will encourage others to choose clarity over comfort and to protect agency above all. The legacy of your response will ripple outward in ways you cannot yet imagine. This season will pass, and what remains will be the sum of your choices, the boundaries you kept, and the love you gave yourself when the world asked you to survive someone else's secrecy. Sit with that, let it steady you, and then step forward. Why?